Hey guys, Z Burbs here in my brand new video checking out the latest horror packs. Also going to have some new DVD and Blu-ray reviews at the end of this video as well. We'll take a look inside the horror packs. So if you guys don't know what the horror packs are, they're basically monthly subscription services where you guys can sign up for either a DVD pack or a Blu-ray pack, and each month you guys get, sent 4 different DVDs or 4 different Blu-rays depending on which ones, which one you guys sign up for. Let's see what's in here. The first ones here are the DVD pack. The first one here in the DVD pack is a movie here called The Temple, and I remember reviewing this one. I can't remember. I think the director of this did something else. It was about a group of people going to it was Japan. It was pretty cool setting because they would go to like this temple that was like haunted. And I remember some really weird stuff happens in this one. The other one here, and this is a movie I remember Shane Dawson is in. And I don't know if I own this one or not. I know I remember watching this, though. It was kind of a fun slasher film called Smiley. And I remember, like, the killer had this really weird mask and everything. And it was, like, the kids getting killed off. And I think they were, like, trying to figure out who did it or something like that. But I remember actually really thinking this was a fun movie. You know, really ridiculous movie, but a pretty fun one. Like I said, Shane Dawson acts in that one. The other one here is a movie that James Cameron produced, and this is pretty cool. I remember this is another one I saw in theaters, and I haven't seen this one since. And it's a movie called Sanctum, and it was kind of like they were going into like a cave kind of system, and I totally don't remember what happens. This came out in 2010, I think, or 2010 or 2011. No, 2010 this one released. But I remember this kind of being cool. And I think it was like an IMAX type movie. It was like real super widescreen movie or something like that, I remember. And then the last one in here for the DVD pack. And this is actually a really fun movie with Eddie Furlong and Michael Berryman in this one called Below Zero. And I know it was like Eddie Furlong was like hiding out in the room or something like that, and Michael Berryman was outside in like a meat locker freezer or something, and Michael Berryman was like cutting up somebody outside, or there was some really odd stuff going on. I don't know, I always like Eddie Furlong, like hopefully he does more movies, because it's been a long time since he's like, been anything that I can think of recently. Now I'll take a look though and see what's inside here of the Blu-ray pack here. Let's see, so the first one in here for the Blu-ray pack is a movie here called Resolution. It's another one, Bill Oberst Jr. is in this movie. And I totally don't remember what happens in this. I think it was like something, like these friends out in a cabin or something, in an abandoned cabin, and like, I remember some kind of odd stuff going on. I don't remember much about this one. This is another one I remember liking this, but had not seen this one since. I always, though, have been a fan of Bill Oberst Jr., though. This one here, this is one of the horror pack exclusive ones. It's a movie here called The Black Dahlia Haunting, Black Dahlia Haunting. And, it has in here Devanny Penn and Cleve Hall. Cleve Hall, he's on that show, the Sci-Fi Channel show Monster Man. I love that show. It only lasted for like 8 episodes, and I always wish it would have continued. And I know a lot of it was filmed just for the show, like the kind of some of the movies that they were working on and everything. But I don't know. That was like one of my favorite things that Sci-Fi had. And like I said, it was such a short-lived show, but I remember really liking that. The next one in here is a movie starring Kate Beckinsale called Stonehearst Asylum. And this is from the director who directed Session 9, Brad Anderson. But this was pretty good, I remember. This was like weird things going on in this asylum, but this was set like in the 1800s or something like that, early 1900s, something like that. But I remember there's some weird stuff going on in here. And the last one in here in the Blu-ray pack is The Last House on the Left, the collector's edition, the unrated version. This is like this is the original film. This is such a brutal movie. Stars David Hess. This was I think this is Wes Craven's first actual movie, but he did do some movies that no one knows the name of. He did and he even talked about this, in interviews years ago. He passed away a year or two back, but I was a huge fan of Wes Craven, especially People Under the Stairs is probably my favorite one of his to watch. But everything, Nightmare on Elm Street. But this was his first movie, but he did some movies that no one knows the name of, these adult films before this, I believe. But this one is just a super, super brutal movie. And now, like I said, I have a couple DVD and Blu-ray reviews to show you guys. There's a lot of stuff to review lately, so I want to put some things in this video. But this one here is from Olive Films, and this is a movie called Cold Turkey. And this movie, one thing that I feel like was the most memorable thing with this movie was Randy Newman had the opening credits theme song to this movie. He also did some other music in the movie as well. But the original, like the main like theme to this movie was like a really great song. This is basically about this town that would get all this money if they would go and just like quit smoking. It's kind of like this weird thing that this town was like challenged to do, and it's like they're all like, but this town would get all this money, you know, that they could use for the town and like share and everything if they, you know, commit to doing this. This movie's from 1971. I remember seeing this first time on like like Showtime or something like that, like years back in like maybe 2001 or something. And I remember really liking this movie. But it's really cool this one is on Blu-ray because this is a pretty obscure movie that you don't really hear about too much. And this one here is from MTI. No, sorry, MPI Home Entertainment. It's a movie here called Goddess of Love. And this is you know, it's basically, though, about this woman who works at this strip club, and she ends up meeting this guy at the strip club, and she's like, she doesn't really expect she's going to actually start dating somebody that she meets, that she's, like, doing a dance for, but she ends up meeting this guy, and it sort of seems like it's real perfect. They start having this relationship together, but then, like, all of a sudden, he starts kind of, like, bringing up this woman that he talked to in the past, and because he does, like, he's doing like some photo work and stuff like that, like people that this one he had kind of worked with, but he essentially, though, he starts kind of texting with her again, and this woman kind of becomes like obsessed, and she's like, why are you talking to him, who are you talking to, I mean, why are you talking to her, what are you doing, why, and you know, and she basically just starts to kind of get more and more cracked up as this goes along. And it's essentially about her kind of little by little losing her mind because of this person, and you know, because of this woman that he's talking to, or maybe is talking to, and she becomes like really jealous, and it's all kind of really crazy stuff. It like builds up to all kinds of crazy super nut stuff going on in this one. This one here is from Indican Pictures, and this is one I was really interested in watching. It's a documentary on the Garbage Pail Kids called 30 Years of Garbage, and this is the story of the Garbage Pail Kids, and it talks all about if you guys don't know the card series Garbage Pail Kids, and I remember seeing them as a kid, and like, you know, even a lot of movies in the 80s and stuff, you would see like in the bathrooms and stuff, they would be like stuck on the walls, like in the movie The Willies, you see a bunch of them on the walls in the bathroom, and these were basically a takeoff on Cabbage Patch Kids, and it was just sort of like these kind of super gross versions of like the Cabbage Patch Kids type characters with like vomiting things up and everything. And this is all talking about the people who created the series and kind of about the cards and how the fandom was, and then how they kind of disappeared for a while and then made a comeback. It even talks to some of the actors from the Garbage Pail Kids movie, which is, you know, considered one of the worst movies of all time, which I always kind of liked it. And I remember, you know, Shout Factory released that one a couple years back, and I remember just thinking it's just a really fun, ridiculous movie. This has on here, though, deleted scenes, interviews, and like I said, it's all talking all about the card series. And the next one here is from Indican Pictures as well. It's a movie here called Wastelander. And this is essentially, though, like, it's kind of like a Mad Max type vibe film, and it's all set in a post-apocalyptic kind of future, and it's about this guy who kind of is like, I work alone, I don't do anything else, but they kind of want him to like lead these pack of people, you know, like, sort of to try and find if there's anything else out there, and kind of like, you know, be the leader of their group. And it's like a crazy, like, there's all kinds of weird, like, characters and stuff that he comes across when he's, like, with these group of people, and, like, all kinds of weird, people have, like, too, like, crazy, like, makeups and really weird looks and stuff in this movie. If you guys like, you know, post-apocalyptic type movies, this one is a pretty fun one. This one is Indican Pictures as well, and it's a movie here called the Z Burbs, and this is about this guy, this married couple, and, the husband ends up going down. He hears like some kind of a noise downstairs in the house, and he goes downstairs, and he ends up, when he goes down there, though, he gets attacked by like these zombies, you know, and then like you know, it's basically, though, about the husband turning into a zombie and having like the craving for like human flesh, and it's like the wife has to try and get people, and it's like all kind of awkward stuff going on. It kind of was reminding me a little bit of My Boyfriend's Back from the Dead. It kind of had that sort of vibe a little bit to this one, but it was like just like like a crazy kind of situation about her trying to figure out how she's going to deal with this husband and kind of like deal with his cravings and get like meat and everything. And these ones here are all from Mill Creek, and there's some cool new sets I wanted to show you guys here. They sent over for me to show you guys, and it's the first one here is this Action 9 collection here, which has Vehicle 19, the Gridiron Gang, Double Team, Universal Soldier: The Return, Hard Corpse, Second in Command, You Got Served, Stomp the Yard, and I'll show you guys inside. Gridiron Gang, I have another edition of that as well, but Gridiron Gang was a really great rock movie. It was one of the earlier rock movies when he kind of came on as like being like the lead in the films, and it was kind of him at this juvenile detention camp, and he was like kind of like, you know, teaching the kids football and kind of like giving these kids a second chance. I remember seeing that in theaters as well and really did like that one. And I believe I remember seeing Stomp the Yard. I think I saw that in theaters. I don't know. I know I saw You Got Served, though. I definitely remember seeing that one, but this one has those three movies. Vehicle 19, which is a Paul Walker film. It was all set in the car. That was a really cool, like, crazy one. I think it was filmed in South Africa, but it was kind of him in this car. It was all kinds of, like, situations going on. But that was a really fun, crazy action film. And this set is all Van Damme films. Like I said, it's got in here Double Team, Universal Soldier: The Return, Hard Corpse, Second in Command, and Maximum Risk. So if you guys are a fan of Van Damme, it's like a cool set here to have all these ones in here together. And there's some other action ones as well that have some different ones. This one here, though, is the Gridiron Gang, the special edition here, and this has some features on this one. This has the documentary on the Gridiron Gang. It has deleted scenes, a commentary on with the writer and director, some featurettes on the movie as well. So the one that's in this set, though, doesn't have the features, but this one here is the special edition, the brand new special edition release. I don't know if these features were on this when this released years back or not. I'm not 100% certain on that, but this was actually a really pretty, like I said, a pretty good true story one. And this here is an action set, but this has in here two different ones. And this one I remember really liking called Go, which is a pretty cool one. And this one here called The Junk Man. And this is a movie that has like is in the Guinness Book of World Records for like the most like crashes. It has over 150 car crashes, trucks, motorcycles, and planes wrecked to make this one. So this is a pretty cool one, like crazy like car crash and wreck scenes in it. And the last two ones here are from Mill Creek as well. This is a show that Seth Meyers, you know, was one of the creators of from SNL. It's a really funny, like, because a whole lot of people here do voices, like Ike Bernhardt's, Kenan Thompson, Fred Armisen, Kate McKinnon, Andy Samberg, and it's like a superhero kind of show, like a really ridiculous superhero show. And this has the complete series, and it's the show called The Awesomes. And this ran for 3 seasons here, so this has all of them together. I don't think this had ever been released before. I don't believe so. The last one here is a one here called, from Mill Creek as well, called Kid West. And this is like about this kid trying to go on this adventure with their friend to go and try and find this like missing treasure. I always like these kind of like treasure hunt kind of movies. And this one is actually a newer one. This actually came out in 2017. So this one was just released from Mill Creek. But I got a really fun adventure film here on this one. For sure, like I said, just wanted to show you some of these ones, let you guys know these ones were out, and if you guys are interested in the horror pack too, I'll have a link below for that one. Anyway, though, thanks again for watching and subscribing, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.